Hey guys, this is the Anime Fiend bringing to you today One Piece greatness. Now, finally, we can talk about the ancient freaking weapons. And before this, all we knew were rumors from the characters or part of the info. And now, Vegapunk confirming that info is really huge. I mean, the amount of destruction that an ancient weapon could do is ho ho ho. Yeah, it is rightfully feared, right? Like, I mean, at this point, it's kind of confirmed that Uranus was the one that destroyed Leloucia, and the capability of destruction there is, oh my god. And that was with the fraction of this mother flame, which is supposed to be a cheap imitation of the eternal flame. But again, I doubt that at this point. I doubt that, right? Because Vegapunk, as we know, is a perfectionist, and just because the color was different, he deemed Momo's devil fruit a failure. So it could be like a minor difference with the eternal flame, right? So the mother flame could be the actual thing. So just having that is, yeah, that's the ramifications of that is gonna be huge in this world, because I'm pretty sure Egghead is no longer gonna be the home of Vegapunk, right? It's gonna be partially destroyed. The world government is gonna take the eternal flame, and honestly, at this point, I may know what Katrina Devon is gonna do with Saturn's powers. I think she's gonna go to the world government and steal a portion of this eternal, oh, I mean, Mother Flame for maybe Pluton, because Caribou is gonna go tell Blackbeard that, and oh my god, that is gonna be, oh yeah, that's gonna be huge. And that, I think that's where Franky is gonna come in and Sunny is gonna come in, because again, throughout this we've seen multiple reactions from multiple people. We didn't see Franky or Iceberg, right? I think Franky's reaction to ancient weapons is the most important in the whole world, because he knows a lot. He knows how to create Pluton or anti-Pluton. I mean, both of those are huge. So I think Oda is just hiding what Frankie knows, what Frankie wants, what his reaction would be, what would he say regarding this topic, right? Because he is one of the two people who are actually capable of actually, adding to this knowledge. And yeah, I think he's hiding it, right? For the grand journey, like what Rayleigh mentioned. Like, come on, don't spoil everything. Let them get to see it on their own. So yeah, I agree on Rayleigh. I mean, like, I'm not saying stop the broadcast. I'm definitely not, because I'm enjoying myself so much. But yeah, definitely we're not gonna get the whole thing. We're not gonna get the whole picture, and that's only gonna be when, because I mean, Vegapunk just spelled it out for us, right? That Roger Pirates were the only ones who knew everything, not O'Hara, not Elbaf, nothing. Like, Roger Pirates were the people who knew everything, and they decided not to do anything. Like, we kind of know some things because it wasn't time and stuff, so they didn't do anything regarding that, but they didn't even tell anyone that, maybe in 10 years or 20 years, whatever the timeline is, they were early, right? So, how early were they? Why didn't they tell anyone? And I think that, why spoil it for people and why tell it to everyone? Because the ramifications of Vegapunk's message that's gonna go to everyone is like, of course, there are people like Mocktown who are not gonna believe it, and just like the conspiracy theories of our world, not everybody believes it, right? Like, a fraction of people actually believe in conspiracy theories, and that is gonna be the case in the One Piece world as well. But the point here is the important people. Elizabello, he's trying to go and find out what happened to Lulusia, the revolutionaries, the Marines, the pirates, these people, like a fraction of these people, even if they choose to like believe this, oh, it's gonna be huge. And this info could potentially also damage not just the world government but also everyone else, right? Because again, there is a reason why sometimes governments, I mean, governments do this a lot in our world, but like sometimes there is a point of not telling everything to the people to not cause mass panic, because that is also destructive to the system, right? So I don't know what the ramifications of Vegapunk's message is gonna be in the world, but yeah, let's see. And Roger Pirates are definitely not the only ones, because there is a question of, did Rocks know? Like how did Crocodile know about Pluton? How did, I guess Kaido knew about Joy Boy through King, but he still knew a little more. Like it always felt like he knew a little more. And then Whitebeard, I guess he got his info from Roger, but did he? So we don't know all of these things. And Goku and Akainu knowing these things, like where did they get it from? Do fleet admirals get a brief on what the shady shit the world government does through the Gorosei? Or like what's happening, right? Like how do some of these people already kinda know? Like does Dragon know? So all of these things, it's gonna be huge. But a really big part of this chapter, and not just this chapter, Egghead as a whole, and we kinda also mentioned this in Whole Cake Island, is the legitimacy of genetically modified things, people, robots, whatever. And are they human? Are they considered living beings? The implications of that has always been there throughout Egghead, with the, starting from that shark to Vegapunk's head, right? Like, is that Vegapunk? Is Punk Records the actual Vegapunk? Is 2C a human? And in Whole Cake, is Sanji, is he different from a regular human? Do we consider his emotions, does his emotions matter as much as a regular human? Like all of these implications is, it's definitely important for the Void Century and the whole picture of One Piece, right? Because I really believe that the ancient weapons are also gonna be sentient in some way. Like we already know Poseidon, yeah, she could be like genetically engineered by the ancient kingdom, or Joy Boy's faction to do whatever she does. But so can Pluton be, so can Uranus. Like, I mean, look at the ancient robot. Like it seems to have its own thoughts, while we know it's a robot, right? So I mean, Clobotromon could be the part of what's autonomous about Pluton. Maybe Uranus has something similar, or maybe something else. Like who knows? I mean, look at Franky. Like again, everything comes back to Franky and what he's gonna do in the future, right? Because Sunny is actually equivalent to Pluton. It also has a Clobotromon, which was like inherited through Going Merry. So like, is that gonna play a huge role at the end of the series? Are we gonna have a dilemma of, do we trust these things? Are they equal to the living beings, that the natural living beings? So I think there's a really good implication of that, man. I really, if I mean, I've mentioned this before, like Egghead and some parts of One Piece like are really like touching on the topics of what Pluto by Naoki Urasawa, or Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind by Miyazaki, what these stories touched upon. Like if you read Nausicaa, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, because these two, like Pluto and Nausicaa, are like cream of the crop, man. I don't want to spoil anything about those, right? So you read those and get a picture of those. Like, they're small mangas, maybe check it out, but you'll get a lot from them for the end game of One Piece. So I'm questioning all of these things, right? Like, do these genetically modified beings, these robots or these like cyborgs or whatever, right, do these matter? They have a bigger role to play at the end? Like, yeah, all of these things. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, because I don't want to actually spoil the other mangas for you. Just yeah, so I don't know, but the this part could be really huge, because even York, like, she questions like, how did Vegapunk know, right? It could be that Punk Records did that on its own, or maybe it could be something simple as Shaka and not Vegapunk, right? Because York was thinking, oh, Vegapunk is not capable of that, but like Shaka seemed really smart, so he was capable of that, right? And he was speaking to Dragon, so maybe he knew something and he prepared everything. Because in the broadcast, we, along with Vegapunk, we also see Shaka and Pythagoras, so maybe these three knew something and they didn't tell the other Vegapunks, because they kind of didn't trust them for a sec, or whatever, right? Maybe they knew something, but yeah, all of these things, man, it's just huge. It's just huge. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, Endgame One Piece again. Again, this is the broken record thing, right? Like, the Endgame One Piece is just freaking awesome, man. I can't emphasize that more than what I'm already doing. Like, yeah, it's just huge, man. Yeah, this is gonna be something that's gonna change the world. And I'm not talking about One Piece world. I'm talking about our world. The art world. That I think One Piece is gonna contribute something that it's gonna change things forever. And I'm just glad I mean, I'm minuscule, but still a part of this history. And yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Well, anyways, I've blabbered a lot today, so let's end it here. But yeah, comment down what do you guys think about all of these things. And yeah, until next time, peace.